It's not a stretch to say that abortion is worse than slavery.
So what you saying?
What you're saying is you.
Man, what you saying? You need to get the out of my business, no?
Hey, man.
That's what you need to do.
Obviously, slavery is one of the worst things that human beings have ever done to each other.
When we look at it in the 21st century in the West,
that's true.
If we were in 1500s wherever, we probably wouldn't think that.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Hey yo, what's poppin', y'all? I'm Ace.
Hi, and I'm Star. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Alright, bet. Let's get into it. Alright, so boom. We back here with two goofballs talking about abortion is worse than slavery. We got a white guy talking about that. Shut your mouth. And we got a goofball here on the left. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you saying that for, though. So we're going to see what you're talking about. You already know I'm hot, because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I wanted to talk about today.
Sure.
I want to unpack this. Abortion is worse than slavery.
This is all you. So single camera.
People thought, I think people think that I was just saying this to be explosive.
You're a maniac.
That I was just trying to get a rise, trying to be edgy.
Trying to find a brain.
You are trying to be edgy.
You're stupid, is what you are.
I don't know.
But go ahead, say your stupid idea, because this is ridiculous.
People thought I was just trying to be provocative, but I mean this, and I'm going to unpack what I mean by this. So first of all, a very common question is, why do you feel the need to compare the two? They're both injustices.
I don't know if I can handle this.
I feel the need to compare the two because our society is completely desensitized to what abortion is.
What is
and our generation, especially in Gen Z, has no idea how atrocious abortion is and what a human rights issue it is. And I think it's actually really useful to say that abortion is worse than slavery because it really forces people to think. Because what's the worst human rights issue that everybody talks about? Slavery. And yes, of course, it was heinous, it was wrong, it was immoral, it was disgusting. Oh.
So, all right, boom.
Just let her finish.
Instead of bring that child to life and then enslave that child, torture that child for a lifelong term.
Let her finish. Let her finish.
We all know that. But once you put slavery and abortion in the same sentence, it really forces you to understand
how stupid you are.
Of abortion.
Go ahead. Go ahead with what are the atrocities?
It is the #1 human rights issue.
What's the atrocity? You're just saying shit.
I commented on that post on TikTok when I put that meme up, and a lot of people were going nuts. I forget who he responded to, but I think it was some girl that was like, "As a black woman, this is horrible. I can't believe you would say something like this." And this one guy responded.
You're the biggest, goofiest raccoon ever to even say some stupid shit like that.
60 million plus kids have been murdered since 1973, or have been aborted since 1973.
Right, so not murdered, because a clump of cells is not a human being, and that's backed up by actual science, not whatever goofy logic you're trying to use. So if the basis of this entire fucking argument is going to be that fetuses are people, that's ridiculous. We're not even going to entertain that foolishness. So that's not backed up by science or real life data, nothing. That you just feel like that. Great, no one cares. No one cares about your religion if you can't feel like that either. Nobody cares.
It's not a stretch to say that abortion is worse than slavery.
So what you saying?
What you're saying is you.
Man, what you saying? You need to get the fuck out of my business, nigga.
Hey, man.
That's what you need to do.
How?
And I was like, wow, this guy's probably thinking about it critically.
Yeah,
how critically? No. How's it not a stretch?
I'm black. I can't believe you're saying that. I'm getting tons of comments about that. This is how dumb people are. People really think that
only black people have been enslaved.
That only black people
throughout history.
Yeah, let's unpack that, right? We need somebody with a brain here. Slavery has existed since the beginning of human existence. However, American chattel slavery is considered vastly different than any other type of slavery that has existed before. In most forms of prior slavery, it wasn't fucking hereditary. So like your children weren't born into slavery. Usually it was for a reason. So your people lost the war and they took over your spot. Usually sometimes you could get out of it. You could buy your way out. Shit like work your way out, work it off. Like indentured servitude was a thing everywhere also, where you would have to work off your debt for whatever reason. Like, a lot of that is not necessarily fair, right, good, or moral either. But also those slaves, generally speaking, were considered human beings. Even though they were slaves, they were controlled by whoever they were controlled by. Generally speaking, they were considered human beings. People. Like the people who were enslaving them. In American chattel slavery, we were not considered people. We were considered chattel. That's the reason it's called chattel slavery. Human beings were 3/5 of a person, written down in the law. And they were treated like that before that. They were experimented on. Tortured daily. Like, the type of stuff that went on in American chattel slavery was completely, it's like Nazi-type experiments. It's completely different than what was happening to slaves before. So when you're saying, oh, well, this slavery is the same as that. No, it's not. Pick up a history book, you fucking moron.
Guys.
Don't get me hot, man. Because these born after 2000 motherfuckers don't know a goddamn thing. Just fucking be on the internet on TikTok talking. Shit is crazy.
On Earth today, their ancestors owned slaves. Right. Like, slavery was so widespread and people so common, especially on TikTok. I mean, these people really think they're like, you're not black, you've never experienced slavery. I'm like, babe, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, you've never experienced slavery either. And let me tell you something, even if you're black, Asian, Hispanic, I don't know, purple, whatever color you are.
Only morons say purple. Everyone who says that when talking, I don't care if you're black, red, or purple. There are no purple people. Shut your mouth.
Somewhere down the line owned slaves. You know why? Yeah. Because slavery was a widespread human rights issue for many, many centuries around the world. In pretty much every era, pretty much every history and nation still is. All these people are like, I'm black, you can't say that. I'm like, bruh, do you know about the current slavery happening right now in Africa? You want to talk about that? Or you want to cry about the slavery that happened here hundreds of years ago?
You want to talk about that? Are you? First of all, lady, what do you mean you want to cry about that? Are you going to go and save them? Captain America? Are you going to save them over there in that other country? Mind your fucking business, first of all. Second of all, are you going to save them? Because if not, that's not a point that you can bring up.
You want to talk about the slavery that's happening right now in China? Right now in Africa? Probably not. Because you're disingenuous, and they're like, you need to read a history book. I'm like, it's so ironic that you say that because they actually
you don't understand
the only people on planet Earth to have ever been enslaved were black people.
It's the same.
No one thinks that.
You were saying are desensitized.
No one thinks that.
Yes. So now let me unpack why abortion is worse than slavery.
I'll be like Ben Affleck. Go on. The bags are ready. They're here. Go unpack.
Oh God.
Okay. So the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Listen to that order. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What does abortion take away? It takes away the right to life.
No, it doesn't, because you're not really alive.
You have no rights yet. You're not even a person yet.
That's the other thing. Is that
like,
is that you can't use like legal or legally sourced phrases like that from the founding of the government and writing of the Constitution to try and argue that fetuses are people, because a fetus is not a person. And it's not considered, because that's the other reason why fetuses don't have social security numbers. Do you understand that? Fetuses are not considered people in any other category of humanity. Or in law. So you're not going to now say, oh, well, abortion deprives you of the right to life, and then compare that to slavery. Like, your entire argument is based on something that hasn't been proven and isn't proven fact.
And do you think that our founding fathers just threw those words together willy-nilly, nonchalantly, without ever thinking about them? You think the order of those words doesn't have any meaning? The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words...
Listen, you can't, first of all, don't even use the founding fathers' thought process about this, because when they wrote those words, the slaves are the ones that handed them the inkwell. So we're talking about the right to life and liberty. The second one is liberty. They had motherfuckers in chains the same time they were saying that. So don't try and make that argument. You don't make any sense.
Words are in that order for a very specific reason. Because the right to life is the most important, the most crucial, and the primary right that we all have. That your right to life, it can't be given to you or taken away from you by the government. That is a God-given right.
Meanwhile,
and it comes before liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Obviously, because if you're not alive, you can't have liberty. You can't have a right to the pursuit of happiness. Now, again, I can't even believe I have to say this, but I have to say this for all the dum-dums. Obviously, slavery is one of the worst things that human beings have ever done to each other.
When we look at it in the 21st century in the West,
that's true.
If we were in 1500s wherever, we probably wouldn't think that.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Because it hadn't happened yet, stupid.
And well, I'm not saying, but
it hadn't happened yet.
But
stupid.
The thing about slavery is that you still have a right to life. You are at least alive.
Now, if you really want to get philosophical, people would argue that if you're enslaved, that's not any quality of life that's worth living. That's why a lot of the slaves jumped off the slave ship. Because being enslaved forever and ever, with your descendants being enslaved forever and ever, which is what American chattel slavery did, you can't argue that abortions for the last 50 years is equivalent to hundreds of years of just the destruction of a whole culture, the rape, torture, murder, just continuous torture of a people over however many years, and then doing the same to their descendants, treating them like not actual human beings, even though they are actually alive and you can see them being alive, and doing the same things that you do. And you're going to compare that to eliminating a clump of cells. Like, these people are maniacs, bro.
Give me freedom or give me death.
She probably would have stormed the Capitol, she's stupid.
Okay, you are alive. Now, do you have a right to liberty in the pursuit of happiness? Very likely not.
Right.
It does kind of depend on, like, the slave owner, like,
not really.
On where you're enslaved, the era that you're enslaved.
She about to argue about nice slave owners.
Etc.
She about to tell us about nice slave owners.
You at least have the right to life.
Yeah.
You are at least alive. And something that people really, really hate to admit is that even in immense suffering, there is still meaning in life.
You've lost your fucking mind. Now we've got a really crazy person. Because let me tell y'all something. If you want to hear it, you let it get busy. I don't forget what this dude's name is, but the modern father of gynecology. Look him up. He's like some famous dude. He got like some schools named after him, some statues somewhere, right? He developed all the modern gynecological tests. Guess how he learned to develop all those? By experimenting on slaves without anesthesia. Now, do you ladies, and does this lady think that if someone took a sharps to your lady parts without anesthesia repeatedly over and over again to try and figure out how things work, like, do you think that's something that could be comparable to eliminating a clump of cells? This woman has lost her mind. In immense suffering, there could be meaning? What? Tell that to the people in the Nazi concentration camps. You think they think that? You think they thought that? Oh, there's some meaning in this still. What? You've lost your mind. Like, you've lost your mind. Like, the type of hyperbolic foolishness going on TikTok with these young goofballs is ridiculous. Tell me what's wrong with her.
I have no idea.
Tell me what's wrong with this lady, because I have no idea. Son, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. Pack it up. I don't think I can take much more of this.
Man's search for meaning.
The Gulag Archipelago, or however you want to see it.
I mean, you have a lot of really incredible humans. Anne Frank.
Your thoughts?
What?
You have a lot of really incredible humans who have been through and they used to humans. They're still able
I can't breathe, bro. Oh my god.
To find something in life that allows them to transcend the suffering.
Well, let's talk about it today.
Yo, lady. But what? But what if you don't transcend the suffering and they just fucking kill you? Then what? What happens then? When they eliminate your bloodline, they torture you to death. What happens then? Nothing? Oh my god, you found meaning in it? Is that what that is? Boy, let me tell you. Philosophically, some would argue that it's better to never have been alive at all than to be alive and to live through a torturous situation. And that applies both to this scenario and to living in general. That's the reason why we have abortion. Is that Sometimes there's circumstances that you don't want a child to be born into, that they don't need to be born into, that they would be better off having never been born into than to have to hop through foster care and get touched by touchers, be homeless, or whatever type of crazy shit could happen to them. It's just like, or that be happening to them right now. Like, sometimes it's better not to have to deal with that at all than to go through that to find meaning in it. Find meaning where? Face down in the gutter? Like, you're crazy. This is a maniac. I don't know, man.
I still support abortion is worse than slavery. Look at the types of slavery that's going on right now.
Okay, all right. I've had quite enough of this because I got a white guy telling me to my face, I really support how abortion's worse than slavery.
Get out my business, okay? Okay? Get out my business, man.
This shit nasty, bro. Both of these people nasty. Who are these fucking retards, bro? Who are these people, bro? Who are these motherfuckers? Mike and Gina? Dumb and Dumber? Yeah, here we go. In the comments, a wise man said not everybody needs a podcast. Here's a prime example. Oh my god, wait. So it continues and they start comparing student debt to slavery? Oh my god. See, someone said, I tried watching this as an open-minded person and it made me close-minded. Thank you. Oh my god. She's lost her mind, bro. I never seen someone, yo, someone said, clap for the girl. She got the white man's validation she wanted. I don't know what to say, but they gotta put handcuffs on this lady, son, because I can't take no more of this, but my ancestors rolling over in their grave with me listening to this. I can't. Malcolm X is somewhere banging on his coffin. Like, what is going on out here, bro? Look at her, bro.
This is disgraceful. Just no. I can't. No. Next. Next.
I can't believe this, bro. Abortion is worse than slavery. Yo, let me tell you something. She get captured by Russia and they take her to fucking the gulag over there. She'll have a different opinion about finding meaning in suffering. Can you believe this? Can you believe this, lady? Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's it for this one. Wow, that's you. We couldn't take it. We couldn't watch the rest of it. There's no way. Whatever she's saying, I'm not trying to hear that, bro. I'll lose my mind. I can't.